Hi guys and gals and kittens, welcome to the Magic Show. In this video I want to show you something, and this is actually something I went over with a guy I just had a meeting with. I told my system to SEO analyze his website. That's not the point. I got a download button down here somewhere. Let me see if I can get down to where it matters. Yeah, there we go. Use the A. Yeah. So now I told it to calculate how many pages, use the hyperlambda generator to calculate how many pages are there in my sitemap. And there are 432 URLs at inero.io. Now, then I told it to research the price per million tokens for GPT 4.1 mini, then research the same price for Claude Code and Codex if possible, right? So GPT 5.5 is like $30 per 1 million output tokens. The point being, now I ask it to use the hyperlambda generator to create code that fetches all URLs from inero.io/sitemap and imports them into the Magic database and its training table. Now I tell it to create a deterministic code for me, right? And here is the result of this code. So this code is like what, maybe 50 tokens or something. And then I tell it to, okay, so estimate how many cents it costed to create that code with GPT 4.1 mini. And use your prompt as input and code completion as output. And the price was 0.0, and it comes down with some math here. But the end result is basically around 0.05 cents. That means you can do 20 of those, operations towards the hyperlambda generator. And my inference costs for that would be 1 cent for all 20. Now, let's imagine you're using GPT 5.5 instead to solve the same task. The task is to go to the sitemap of inero.io and scan every single URL and insert H1 and markdown of the HTML page of every single page in that site. There are 432 pages in my site. So here it comes down with a super complex math based upon the input token cost and the output token cost and how it must iterate. Because what it needs to do now it needs to scrape the web. Because if it can't create specific tools on the fly that solves these questions, then the only way it can do so is by like getting the whole sitemap, pushing the whole sitemap to GPT 5.5, and then getting the GPT 5.5 to iterate over the sitemap using the SLM deterministically to like loop through, and then invoking some MCP server on your side, which you need to expose to the LLM in order to insert these items into your database, etc., etc. So the total cost is $281 to accomplish the same task as the task that costed you 0.05 cents in hyperlambda. How many more times expensive would it be to use GPT 5.5 instead of the hyperlambda generator to accomplish the same task? And the answer to that question is between 102,000 times to 530,000 times. That means fundamentally, if you need $530,000 to solve a task using GPT 5.5, then you can probably solve that same task using my hyperlambda generator for $1 in theory. Now, this is the extreme example, but this shows the cost of using the LLM to do what deterministic code was supposed to be doing, right? Now, realizing the dynamic tool creation capabilities of this thing by realizing every single tool it needed to SEO analyze this website was dynamically created on the fly by the hyperlambda generator there and then, makes it arguably the last tool that your AI agent ever needs.